Hi, I'm Kevin. Welcome to my channel. I got a request for my shepherd's pie recipe. Let's make some. What a beautiful day. Earlier in the week we had an ice storm and a bunch of snow, but today is just gorgeous. Hey folks, I had a request to share my shepherd's pie recipe, and I thought, hey, let's make a video doing that. It's not my intention to do a whole bunch of individual recipe videos. There's lots of other folks online that are doing that. Really what I want to do is show you my technique, and I've got a couple other videos I'll put up here that you can check that out, where you can take almost any meal recipe and convert it to a backcountry meal. So let's go online and find a really good recipe and convert it for our needs. So I took a look at a bunch of shepherd's pie recipes online, and the one I like the most is by Alton Brown of Food Network. Alright, let's take a look at Alton's recipe. He breaks it up into two components, the potatoes, and we're going to get rid of a bunch of stuff here, the half and half cream, the butter, and the eggs for sure. We're going to stick to the potatoes, and we're going to put that in as a component of the rest of the dish. Let's look at the filling. Lots of good ingredients that we can use no problem. Let's make a few adjustments though. The carrots are fresh. We're going to use frozen. Ground lamb, we're going to substitute beef. Worcestershire sauce is really good, but should increase the amount because it'll lose some flavor in the dehydrator. And corn and peas, we're going to use frozen instead of fresh as well. Alright, so let's start cooking. So I've got a hot pan here, and I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then I'm going to add my onions. I'm going to stir those around until they cook down a little bit. Time to add 2 tablespoons of flour. You want to stir that around too and let the flour cook a little bit. It'll get rid of that floury taste. Then we're going to add 1 cup of chicken stock. We're going to let that cook and come to a boil. This is exactly what we're looking for, a nice little boil. Now we can add our tomato paste and Worcestershire sauce. So if you didn't want to go to all the trouble to make the filling sauce, you could use a spice pack from the store instead. Just cook your onions and add the pack to your dehydrated meal at the end. But this really isn't very hard. So we can add this mixture to a large mixing bowl. And then I'll add a half cup each of peas and carrots and a half cup of frozen corn. And we can mix this up a little bit. See, this isn't very hard. So this is how I prepare my potatoes. I grate them. This is a great way to get small pieces that will dehydrate very well and rehydrate very well. I'm going to cook my potatoes in water, and to prevent them from turning gray, I'm going to put a little bit of acid in the water by adding some lemon juice. So these potatoes will really foam up quite a lot. That's because they've been grated. There you go. I'll just add these to the filling mixture and stir. When you're dehydrating something that's as moist as this, you should use these fruit roll trays. Now I'll spread the meal on the dehydrator trays and set the dehydrator to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. You might be asking yourself, where's the meat? I like to dehydrate my meat separately from the rest of the meal. I find that when you dehydrate the meat at a higher temperature, it rehydrates better. Check out this video for some information on how to do that. So I've got my scale, and I'm going to tear it out, put it on grams. This is my dehydrated shepherd's pie. And I'm going to add, for a meal for myself, I like 150 grams. So I'm going to add about 100 grams of that. And I'm going to add 50 grams of dehydrated ground beef. Perfect. Now I'm going to add some spices, in this case garlic and thyme. And some pepper. So if you want to get really fancy, you could keep your shepherd's pie filling separate from your potatoes. You could rehydrate them in separate pots, put the potatoes back on top, and bake them in a camping oven. That's pretty fancy stuff. That's not really a backpacking thing, that's more of a canoe tripping thing where you've got more gear and more time. All right, you have a good day.